This is the 2011 Mazda CX-9 crossover SUV. It's powered by the 3.7 liter V6, which puts out 273 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. And as you can see clearly here, if you've been reading with Winefoot for a while, this is the bigger version of the CX-7, which I reviewed a few weeks ago, and it does have a third row, which is currently folded down there in the back to create more cargo space. So it is definitely a bigger vehicle, longer, and than the CX-7, and it does have some different features about it that I'd like to point out. The first and most notable feature to me when I first sat in the car was the way that the GPS system is located and the entertainment system. If you recall, on the other Mazda that we looked at, it had a little dinky GPS screen up here further up in the dash, and this is a much easier to use, much easier to read system than in the CX-7, and I greatly prefer it. Other than that, it has many of the same interior features. Definitely some nice leather seats there that are very comfortable. Supportive for the most part. They do have adjustments on the side. Plenty of legroom in the back for even grown adults, at least in the two main seats back there. The middle one probably be a little bit more cramped, but as you can see, it does have a sunroof, and works great. As you can see here, I can go ahead and scroll through the sources here, and it does support AM, FM radio, of course, compact disc, satellite radio, Sirius satellite. You can also do Bluetooth audio through your phone, and it does have the auxiliary input jacks, which are going to be located in here. And you can see there's the audio in if you want to feed your MP3 player into it. It does have a power outlet in here as well. And so yeah, I mean, it's not a huge storage compartment. It's not bad, but I do like the cup holders. It does have the integrated cup holders in the doors as well down below. One thing that I'm not too nuts about is if we scroll over here, we have the main window control. It feels like you just got to kind of reach out for it a little bit further than I'm necessarily used to, and you know, it would have been nice maybe to have it more integrated with the armrest. But you know, once again, it's one of those personal deals, and I'm okay with that. It also does feature blind spot indicators in the mirrors. There will be a nice little amber colored light in either mirror when somebody comes up in your blind spot. Here comes a car now. We'll see if it'll trigger it here. Nope, it didn't, because I'm not in motion. So anyway, it is kind of a handy little indicator to have, and if you hate when people camp your blind spots, now you'll have a constant reminder that they're there. This does feature a 6-speed variable transmission, automatic. And it does get up pretty good. It's not quite as quick as I was hoping for, honestly. I mean, like when I drove the CX-7, it has the turbo 4-cylinder, and the horsepower wasn't drastically much different than this. But with the added weight of this vehicle over the CX-7, I guess the pickup on this, the peppiness, if you want to call it that, really was not quite as good as I hoped. Having said all that, I do find it to be pretty power adequate in regards to its ability to get on it if you step on the gas. So nothing I can really test here. You can just take my word for it, knowing that it's, like I said, it feels very adequate. The overall handling is pretty solid. I don't have any huge complaints considering the class of vehicle it is. Does tend to feel definitely heavier than the CX-7. With a little bit more body roll and that kind of stuff in the wheel in terms of what I can feel. But again, it's still a pretty balanced feel overall, and I don't have a huge complaint. I know I talked about the power a little bit, but that was more based on my own presupposition going into it. But in all fairness, the 273 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque is pretty adequate for most conditions. I haven't tested the vehicle yet with a load on it, so I'm kind of curious to see how that would do, or even filled up with adults, you know. Definitely put some weight on it. It would be interesting to see how that whole thing came together, but you know, does get up pretty good. And as you can see, it redlines there about 6,700 RPM on the tachometer. But overall, it's a very nice car to drive. Not too friendly on the gas. I believe Mazda rates this at 14 and 22. So it's definitely not the most fuel-efficient car to drive. But if you are looking for a medium-sized, not a full-sized crossover SUV that seats I would call 7 people. I know you could technically call it 8 probably, but I wouldn't want to be in the middle seat. This will do it. The back seat legroom is going to be pretty cramped, so it's pretty much going to be reserved for kids only. And but outside of that, solid rig. Love my time with it, and would highly recommend a test drive if you're in the market for this kind of SUV at this price point. This one comes in just under $35,000 as configured, and I would highly encourage you to check them out.